Yves Bissouma is set to leave Tottenham and join Galatasaray. Get my live reaction to that, giving you the latest news as well, and just really dissecting it and what it means to Tottenham. Will there be cover? Will we sign a replacement? Is this the right thing to do? And we'll also be reflecting on Bissouma's career. Very keen to get you involved. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for coming back in here. Hope you're enjoying all these videos. With no better time to like and subscribe with all the content going into the last week of the transfer window. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, with the latest news, I think it's fair we start with that for people who haven't seen it. The Daily Telegraph reported today that Yves Bissouma is set to join Galatasaray and leave Tottenham. Negotiations are now at final stages between Tottenham Hotspur and Galatasaray for the transfer of the midfielder. Personal terms have already been agreed for the player. Bissouma will leave Spurs on an initial loan with an obligation to buy. That's all we've got. That is the latest news. I'd like to kick it off by saying, thank you firstly to Yves Bissouma for all his service and everything he's given. 2 games for me that really stand out in terms of him and individual performances were that semi-final and final in the Europa League, helping us win that trophy. But I think his Tottenham career will be summed up of really being inconsistent ultimately, and we'll get on to whether I think it's the right decision or not. But what is important here is to look at it and go at the same time, thank you. This is something I think we probably expected, maybe a little bit less because of the run and how helpful he was in the Europa League campaign. But there was a lot of hype when he joined the club, and I would say it never really worked out for him at Tottenham, if I'm being totally honest with you. So much hype when he joined, looked like a really good deal at the time. Maybe not quite as much now, but what play was up here at Brighton, and it's just, we've seen glimpses, but nothing enough. It'd be Tottenham career would be completely shadowed, in my opinion, by that inconsistency, which is a real shame for him. The only thing I do worry about now is where this leaves us in terms of cover. People go, Paulinho was Bissouma's replacement, sorry. But the way I should look at it is, we get back in the Champions League, it should be, we're bringing an extra body in there in Paulinho, who will be a regular starter probably out of him with Bissouma. Should be starting in that team as that number 6 anyway. But you keep Bissouma as cover, but it's just the fact that it's one in, one out, rather than adding depth, and that's the concern I have. And what really determines for me whether this is the right thing to do or not is, because apparently it's a loan to obligation, as I read out there from the Daily Telegraph, how much it is. If the obligation, for whatever reason, is £5-10 million, next summer, or euros in particular, then for me, why? But if it's 15-20, I understand that. To be clear, I've been saying that I think we should sell Bissouma for a long while. I think that the attitude's really poor. I think that we can't ignore that. And we know that Frank's spoken about it. He's been disciplined for being consistently late. Why would you do that? It's in a bad tone to the new manager. I think his attitude is maybe a little bit of a problem. Certainly in this case, being late, you just can't excuse that, whatever is going on. So that we don't want that around the dressing room that could be holding Frank and the team back. So overall, if I had to put my neck on the line, I'd probably say it's the right decision, but it purely depends on the fee of this. I think we've done a really bad job at shifting on players this summer in terms of outgoings in general. People will disagree with me. I think we've done very well getting players out on loan. Okay, we sold Son, but I think we've taken a long while to get business done both in and out of the club. Funny that, which is a real pain. And maybe outgoings, the club would argue, has slowed the incomings. So we know we're going to get cover. We still haven't replaced Son, who left weeks ago to join LAFC. That for me is criminal. Haven't replaced James Maddison, even more criminal and frustrating, unforgiving, if you like. And just frustrating is the word. Over a month ago, James Maddison done his ACL. We haven't signed a replacement. And let's not forget, we were going to sign Gibbs White before Maddison got injured. That's the thing that fans forget here. We were going to have both. Now we've got neither because Maddison's out, ACL. The club can't help that. I totally understand that. Well, maybe not drag them around the world on a pre-season tour and make Maddison play for shirt signatures. But generally, they can't help it too much. But we've now got no number 10. We didn't land Eze either. So we didn't land our 2 major targets. Kulusevski's injury is worse than originally thought and has been lengthened. His time is going to come back rather than September. It's now January, it looks like, according to reports anyway. Maddison, probably the season for me. Time he gets back to match fitness, if he even gets on the pitch this season, it's going to be null void for him this season. There's not going to be any impact at all. It takes a long while ACL and you're very vulnerable after that. Second ACL injury could be career ending. It's as simple as that. The fact we haven't addressed that is just absolutely criminal. So I'm not going to address the midfield issue with Bissouma. So yeah, it looks like it's going to happen. I think we need a real statement signing, and I just worry the rest of the window Tottenham could panic buy. We're not going to replace Bissouma. So realistically, in that number 6 role for Paulinho, I think Gray's the cover for him. Maybe that's what Frank sees him as, and then Bentancur can potentially do a job there. But I would have liked 2 strong DMs or someone that's capable of playing a DM like Bissouma. But again, we left things like this far too late in the window. I mean, glad he's not going to West Ham. He's going to go to Galatasaray. I'll be interested to see what that fee is. If I had to guess, I reckon it'd be about 12-15 million euros, which is an okay deal. Maybe not consider what we bought him for. So yeah, real shame. But overall, big thanks to Yves Bissouma, giving a contribution to this club, giving us some good moments, part of an incredible team that we'll always remember that delivered the Europa League. Had a good connection with Ange. Ange got a lot out of him that last kind of phase of last season. So probably overall the right decision to move on. But just frustrating that the club is unambitious and won't go out there and sign a replacement. I think extra cover is better. So at the centre back, we're now hearing it's not a priority. Well, apart from Van der Ven and Romero, our 2 starting centre backs, Kevin Danso is the only fit available centre back if you let Luka Vuskovic leave on loan. That's not okay going into it. 3 centre backs into the season. That's absolutely ludicrous. Yes, I know we've got Dragston and Takai, but they're both injured. Dragston's long term too. Incredibly frustrating. So Bissouma, thank you. Probably the right decision. One that was expected, maybe less so, as I said, after winning the Europa League and the fact that he's dragged on so long. But I wish Bissouma all the best his next chapter, and he'll always be remembered as a Tottenham player that delivered that trophy, the third European trophy and the first major trophy in 17 years, along with Ange Postecoglou. But thank you very much for watching today's video. Get involved in the comments below. Is this the right thing to do? What would be a good fee in terms of Tottenham? Can we somehow get the 15-20 million euros or pounds? Can we get it? If it's pounds, that'd be fantastic, but I think this deal will be done in euros because it's Galatasaray we're dealing with. How much of the money has been done in euros this year? It's absolutely crazy. But that's my thoughts. Yves Bissouma to leave the club and join Galatasaray. Deal that's escalated very quickly. And again, Fabrizio Romano slacking behind. It's becoming tier 2 very quickly. For now, massive comedy Spurs. If you're new, like and subscribe to the channel. Can't get my words out.